What's going on, everyone? This is Ruben Luna, your host of the Good Vibes podcast, and today we have our new guest, someone that just actually became our team sales manager, Jessenia Garcia. Welcome to the show.
Woo-hoo. It's about time, sales manager. Yes.
Yeah. So, I've known Jessenia for how many years, Jessenia?
I met you.
I think she has a better memory than I do.
2010, officially person to person. But
Right.
you've known about you with Israel, working with my husband Israel since 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been quite some time,
been a
right?
minute, yeah.
Yeah, so I met Israel. I think it was a cross transaction. I was a realtor already, and then he was doing the loan for the other party. I liked his work ethics, and then we started working together. And then eventually I helped you guys.
We became friends.
Yeah, we became friends. I helped you guys purchase your home.
Yes.
So and the rest is history, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things that I've noticed when we were going through the process of buying your own house. It will, I'm more like Jessenia, like you have so much like potential in the real estate industry.
Yes.
Like you should be selling houses. What is it that you're doing right now?
Yes.
What were you doing back then?
At that time, when you told me to, actually, I was a loan officer with Israel. So when you met me, I was in the same line.
So you were on the
so I
lending.
was on the lending side. So I have that experience. But when we purchased our home, I was a stay-at-home mom because I was pregnant. I had just had the Angelo. So I wanted to stay at home and be part of him. But I was ready to go back to work. And you're like, no, don't go back to lending. And I remember the words that you said. You're like, you could sell ketchup to a lady in white. Come over to us. And then you have charisma with it. So come on, come. I'll teach you everything. And I'm like, okay. And at that time, I think it was 4 of us, 5 of us. And I was like, okay, that was it. So it was a lot easier one-on-one. You had a little more time. But it was definitely a learning experience, and I've learned a lot. I've got to watch you grow, too.
And I think the learning curve never stops, right?
No, I'm still learning. Even right now, I'm a sales manager. I've been doing this for 9 years, and even with my mortgage experience, I'm still taking trainings because learning never stops. I'm one of those, if you don't learn something every day, then you're just getting old.
Right. And then with the market changing, like all the new rules coming up, then we want to be on top of it, right?
Yeah.
So Jessenia, let's go back and let's talk about you. This is something that we like to emphasize within our show, like who you are, where you come from, getting to know a little history about our guest.
Yes.
I think this is the best part because a lot of podcasts, they bring all kinds of people who are doing crazy things.
We keep it simple. Kiss.
We're humans.
Yeah.
We live a happy life. And if not, how we can make it happy, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're human. We live a happy life, a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
So we're content with what we have, not always chasing what we don't.
Yeah,
so.
and happiness is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think in life,
I agree.
It's just being happy. Like what is it gonna take for you to get there?
Yeah.
Some people needs more than others.
Yeah.
Right. Some people can be very happy with little things. Some of them need a little bit more to get where.
Well, I know millionaires that have lots of money and they're miserable.
Right. Yeah. So money is not everything.
No.
It helps a lot.
It does.
Right. But then more when you're aware of your actions.
Yes.
All right. So where were you born? And tell us a little history about you.
About myself.
Yes.
Well, I was born here in Phoenix, Arizona, so I'm a Phoenix native.
Born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised. Product of the 90s, born in the 80s. I started out, I went to ghetto schools, as you call. So I went from back in Little South Phoenix. This little girl came out and just didn't want to be in the ghetto. So I decided education was the way to go. So at that point, I think I was 12 years old, and I said, I need to learn. I need to expand this. It does help that I'm pretty smart, and my brain, I was a straight A student. So all through high school, I went to South Mountain High School, go Jaguars, and got lots of scholarships, learned a lot, got to work in law enforcement, and I was going to be a lawyer.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I had full ride scholarship to Harvard Law School. But, having Mexicano parents and Latino machismo, my father was like, no, you're not going all the way. What do you mean you're going to New York? There's no way you're going out there. Yeah. I had a full ride scholarship.
No way.
Yeah, it didn't let me go, which is one of the best things that happened to me.
I mean, you never know.
The outcome of it. It's always the outcome of it. So I see the positive in it. Yeah. But started out real small. My family is all from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico. So it's why I speak Spanish. I'm bilingual. A lot of times that you'll see me speak like half English, half Spanish, Spanglish. You're Spanglish realtor. So I do that with my clients a lot. And it's very personable. My clients do understand when I do, if they're English speaking, they understand my Spanish. If they don't know any English whatsoever, and I throw out some English words, they get it in the conversation. Yeah. So, just product of two Latino parents that decided to come to the United States of America and make a better life for themselves. And we are, the product of that. So.
Okay, cool. Now, you obviously your parents are from Guadalajara. Is that where you met your husband?
Yes.
In Guadalajara?
So, I met Israel in Guadalajara. My husband, we were 14 years old when we met.
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day, yeah. So we've been friends for a long time. We were friends first for a very long time before we even started dating. So I got to know him. He lived right across the street from my grandmother. And, La Picara Jessenia was like, hey, you know. He was a handsome, cute little boy, church choir guy walking to home from church with his little guitarrita and, just decided to say hello.
The guitar
he played
church?
the guitar in church. He was in
Nice.
choir. So decided to say hi to him and introduce myself. And it's history from there as well.
Okay,
Friendship
cool.
grew.
So I remember meeting you guys, and I know Israel was from Guadalajara, and but at what point in your life you're like, all right, I'm gonna marry this guy, or he proposed to you?
No,
I don't know.
actually, yeah. So he decided at 18, like any Mexicano does, right? They're like, let's go to the United States of America for dinero.
Yeah.
Let's go make some money. I'm going to go there for 6 months, make good money, and bring it back to my parents. That's how he's always had. Israel has always had ambition.
Right.
I always say that. It's hard to find someone with ambition. Hard work ethic, personable, great attitude. Yes, I can find that anywhere, but ambition, that's hard to find.
Yeah.
When you just want more and you're willing to do anything to get more, that's Israel. He always wanted more. So once he came here, he loved the life that he had. We were friends. I took him around town. We were exploring. I was at ASU at the time. So I took him to campus. He got to see all these amazing places. And he just decided to stay a little bit longer. And then I think I was like 18 and a half, and I decided to move out. He lived with roommates, and he decided to move in with me. So we moved in together. At this point now, we're dating, not boyfriend, girlfriend yet, but just dating. And he's like, hey, I'll move in with you. I'll help you pay your bills, and we can move in together.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, I have a second bedroom.
Yeah,
Sure, come and move in with me, But that's how it all started. And from there, it was like history. So we've been together since.
Now, you have 3 kids, right?
3, yes.
How old are they?
I have Yasmin, who's 22. Isaiah is 20. And D'Angelo's 12.
Okay. That was a big gap between the 20 and the 12.
Surprise baby? Yeah.
Right?
Surprise baby. We weren't ready for that. I was good with my boy and my girl. Guys, keep 2 kids. It's enough. They're expensive. Don't have any more children. Yeah, I had both. And then, just D'Angelo was our surprise baby, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I can't imagine my life without him.
Yeah, it's
He's
crazy.
the spark.
Like for example, we have 2 girls, right? And then they're 20 and 14, soon to be 15, and then just going back to having another baby and going through a process all over again. We're like, yeah, you know what? I think we're good.
Yeah, no, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Especially girls. I feel for you because Yasmin is more expensive than both my boys put together. So I feel for you with 2 girls.
You know what?
They're expensive. Que el moñito that has to match the dress and the shoes and when they're little, they're expensive. They are, but they're worth it.
Yeah,
they're definitely worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah. I actually brought a picture of when we first vacationed because I've known Ruben for a long time.
Oh, nice.
So I want to show you to see if you remember, but this is the first time we vacationed together, but this is how far we go. You saw D'Angelo take his first plunge into, do you remember this vacation?
How old is D'Angelo right now?
He's 12. So he'll be 13 on April 22nd. So this was when we went on vacation when you were there with us.
So that was like 11 years ago?
That was 11 years ago. He was 3 months right there. And I think it was 2000.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a very, very long time. I think you've seen me through a crazy journey of ups and downs. So it's you've met probably 2 Jessenias. Did you meet me when I was 300 pounds?
Okay, so I was gonna ask you that question, but I wasn't sure if you wanted me to ask.
Yeah, I'm open about it. Absolutely.
So just going back to because I don't think I met you going through that phase of your life. I don't think I met you then. I didn't know you then. But I've seen the pictures that you have posted in the past. So I know you were about
300 pounds, 302 pounds. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was a journey. It was something crazy. I had children. And, coming from a Latino family, they feed you.
So was that before?
I never was a skinny girl. I still don't think I'm a skinny girl. Absolutely no. No me digan flaca, por favor, because it's not. But I was never a thin girl. I was always a sport girl. So I played 5 sports in grade school. I played basketball, softball, volleyball, track, and soccer.
Okay, so you were involved.
I was involved. So I had to be fit. I had to run for soccer is demanding.
Yeah.
So I never was a skinny girl for sure. And I decided, when I got pregnant, I decided, okay, I'm going to have this healthy lifestyle. But it doesn't work out that way, right? I have a mom who used to cook with what we call, manteca. Everything with manteca, right? So it was flautas, it was quesadillas, it was everything con manteca. So I'd eat 1 or 2, and she'd be like, "No, you're eating for 2. You got to eat more, and you got to eat more. You're eating for 2." So
that was during your first pregnancy.
that was my first pregnancy.
Yeah.
So a year later, I get pregnant with Isaiah, and the same thing. So back to back, and no in between, able to work out the weight.
Yeah.
I gained 100 pounds very quickly. So yeah, it was crazy. With Yasmin, my first pregnancy, I was 20 years old, gained 100 pounds just like that. So my body went into shock. I actually was very close to going into cardiac arrest because my body it's in shock. Yeah, it wasn't used to that weight on top. So I was supposed to have twins, and one of them se hizo de agua. So they rushed me into emergency because they needed to come out. Yasmin was too big, they said. But it turned out I had 2 sacks. So I had, that's why Yasmin was only 5 pounds. So when they went in, they're like, she could have coughed this out. But at the same time, I don't remember anything because my body was in shock. I literally went under. So it was about that close to death. It's not a good thing. Yeah, I don't remember anything. All I remember is coming out after I had her. My dad, I saw him, and they were taking Yasmin, and all I said, "Dad, that's my kid. Make sure you follow her over there." And my dad just did just that, and I think that's why he loves her so much, because he's the first one to be able to be with her.
Yeah,
while they took me into surgery.
Going through that process, right?
Yes. So then I had got pregnant, got pregnant with Isaiah, same thing. And for years, I was just overweight. I tried everything, dieting, everything, exercise. I mean, everything that the insurance told me I should do, I did it to try to lose weight, but it didn't happen. It couldn't.
How long did it take you before you actually started losing the weight?
I had assistance. So I had gastric bypass. I made the decision because I am a huge roller coaster fan. And one year we went over and I was getting on the Goliath. And as I'm getting on the Goliath, the buckle doesn't buckle. It was so embarrassing. I had to get off. Front row, waited an hour and a half just to get in because it was the very first seat.
Man, I feel bad.
And so I felt bad for myself. Yeah. That's when I decided you got to do something, right? I mean, I would always ask for the extra seatbelt in the airplane because they have extra seatbelts in the airplane. That was okay. I would do that all the time. But this was something that I enjoyed to do. And I was not able to do it because of my weight, number one. Number two, I had to do it for my children. I had 2 little kids. I couldn't even run after them. I still was physical. I still did everything, but I just wasn't in shape. If one of them ran into the street and would get run over, when would I pick them up? When can I run towards them? So that's the moment that it clicked, and I said, I need to do something. Yeah. So that was 2004. For a whole year, I followed instructions in order to get gastric bypass. They put you on a strict diet, on a strict program, so that you can try to lose some weight, so they can see that that you can do this.
You're trying. Yeah.
2 weeks before I have my surgery, insurance is like, no, you didn't qualify. You didn't meet the standards. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. And at that time, that was 2005. It was May. Gastric bypass was very new. So it was about $35,000 to get the surgery. At the time, I was making really good money. I was a loan officer. So we were making really, really good money. And I decided, okay, I'm saving for a new car. So
that was when the market was starting to go up, right?
Yeah. So it was a good time to be a loan officer. Yeah. And I had money saved up. I was going to buy a new car cash, and I was ready to do that. And I said, okay, what do? Do I buy a new car, or do I buy a new lease in life? So I decided to pay for my own surgery because nothing was going to hold me back. I was not going to let anything come between me and my roller coasters at all. Okay. So I did that, and it was assistance. I had that surgery in September of 2005. By May of 2006, I had already lost 115 pounds. Jeez. Yeah, it's a very quick procedure. They prepare you, though, because you can go from 300 to 200 or 180 pounds. It's mentally challenging. Yeah. So you have to be prepared. I'm a very strong girl. I've been through a lot. So I know, coming from the ghetto, I've learned a lot. I've learned to take care of myself. So gangs, things like that. Stay away from all that. So I've been strong, and I was like, I can do this, no worries. So
being bullied in school, or
oh yeah,
were you ever bullied or no?
Man, I was the bully.
Oh, you were.
I was
Shame
the
on
bully.
you.
Shame on me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that, once you figure out that you're the bully, and I did it to one kid, I was like, oh man, that's fourth grade.
So bad.
Yeah, you feel bad. You're like, oh my God, that's not the person that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I was a bully in fourth grade, and then I matured. So after that, after 10 years old, I think I was a little more mature, and I was told that my whole life. You're way more mature for your age. So use that to your advantage.
Learn your lessons.
Learn my lessons. So yeah, let's not be bullies, guys. Not fun, not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my weight loss journey. It's a great journey. It was one of the crazy things is I remember being, just losing the 110 pounds. I was in the big girl section, and I'm like looking for clothes on the rack, switching. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't belong here anymore. You gotta go
back over here.
Yeah. So it's been a journey, and since then I still lost even more weight. I gained a little bit more weight. I got pregnant with the Angelo afterwards, so you can healthily still get pregnant.
Okay.
Had another kid, and then just went down. I liked my weight then, but now I'm just losing weight because of how much I eat. To the contrary of that, you're not supposed to eat. I eat 6-7 times a day, and I maintain my weight.
Metabolism moving.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So another huge thing that you've done that I noticed, you stopped drinking beer, right?
Completely.
Like no alcohol whatsoever. How long it's been?
It was 2 years. It'll be in November.
Wow.
I believe 2 years. Am I going on 3 years? God, it's been so long.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congrats to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's
so I bet it is.
Yeah.
Like when you go to events, and because we have events here with the team and parties, like how do you
graduations?
Yes. Yeah. How do you all right, stay away from it?
It was a challenge. I think the bigger challenge was to really dial in the fact that you are an alcoholic. That is the bigger challenge. Yeah. Stop drinking to realize that you have a problem. Yeah. To realize that, hey, you're part of this problem, and you're not in a happy place. So I'm all about being happy, and I wasn't in a happy place. I thought I was. You think you are, but you're not. And was it healthy? No, it wasn't either. So I think that was the biggest thing, is to dial in the fact and accept, yes, you are an alcoholic. Now, I wasn't drinking my whole life. I wasn't drinking since I was 18 years old. I didn't start drinking till after I had the Angelo. So I was 33, 34 years old when I first really realized what alcohol really was and how to drink it, party and have fun with it. I was too busy being a mom before, so I wasn't too much of alcohol. I would have maybe a beer, but I didn't like it at that time. But then when I learned how to drink beer, oh my God, then it was trouble. So realizing that it is trouble and it's not healthy, that's the big thing. It's not where it's hard to stop. That first week was difficult because it was like picking up the beer and saying, no, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I don't want this for my life. You put it down and you're just like, okay, I'm done. After that, after you know that you're done, if you're strong-willed enough, you're going to do it. So I've done it, and people are like, come on, just one shot, just a little sip, just this. I'll take a sip every now and then again, somebody will have a drink, and I'll be like, that's a new drink. Let me see what that tastes like. But to have an actual full drink, no. I have my discipline. I didn't like the person that I was. That Jessenia is horrible.
And that's the thing, when you lose control.
Yeah. It was lost.
When you lose control of who you are. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. And that's when a lot of people loses control. Yeah. Right?
And respect. You lose respect for yourself. People lose respect for you. So that is one of the things.
And then you disrespect others.
And yes, even though you're drunk and you don't think they remember. You don't, but they do. So it becomes a problem. And I just couldn't. I didn't want to anymore. I tell everybody, I tell my mom when I talk to her, I felt podrida inside, spoiled inside. My soul was spoiled. Yeah. It was rotten. It was not good. Okay. So it's been good. You
brought it back.
Yeah, I brought it back. I'm the Jessenia that I like to be. I'm in a very good place. I'm very proud of everything that I've achieved. I'm not only, a real estate agent. I'm a sales team manager, which I love to do. I love my position.
Yeah, I've noticed that you love talking to our team members and teaching them and showing them. I mean,
it's fun.
Don't get me wrong. I like teaching too, but I think you have more of the patience than more than I do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, well, I have little kids. I stayed at home with D'Angelo.
Right.
D'Angelo tested my patience. So if I can handle him, I can handle anything.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So I love being a sales team manager, bringing on new agents, and then just guiding them through the process of how to do it the right way instead of them coming into a team or coming into a brokerage and saying, what do I do
What do
next?
I go next? Yeah.
Yeah. What do I do? What's this? I start from the beginning and teach how to write contracts. We iterate both of us. So between you doing your trainings, me doing my trainings, they have two different styles now that they can blend in and take into their real estate life. We want them to succeed. I don't want any of these new agents to walk away from this amazing career. So they might as well just do it right from the beginning.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, this is what the market is demanding.
Yes. And I've had so many agents leave any brokerage, just because they didn't have anybody to talk to, ask questions to. And even if they did, it was non-responsive, crickets.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're here for. We're here to help these agents become better themselves so that, they can grow and do their thing. Like, I don't want you to leave. This is an amazing career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's gonna demand them to know what they're doing,
Yes.
right?
And to be open to
guide.
learn, to be open to learn. That's one of the things. Because if you're so closed and only want your style, like, it doesn't work. You wanna keep up with the Joneses, como dicen. You
Yeah.
want to know what's new to the market, what's out there, what's hype, what's new, what new programs, what new So it's not just being a realtor. We don't just get our commission because we write contracts, you guys. No, that's not what we do. Yeah. We are behind the scenes doing a lot of other
work.
things. Yeah.
So it's funny because now changing subjects, right? So I had a client that I'm not gonna lie to you. They took about 2.5 years before deciding to make a move.
Yeah, it takes that long sometimes.
They sold and they just purchased their new house just recently. But what people don't see, like, oh,
yeah,
you're making all this. I'm like, well, did you know how much time I invest in communicating with them until getting to the point of actually making the move?
Yes.
Like, we're talking about months, years.
Yes.
Of pure communication, following up, making sure I'm in front of them, showing them homes, going through the process. So that takes a lot of time, and that's what people don't see, like what we do behind the scenes before we actually get to the closing table.
Yes.
Right? And that's something that we try to teach our team members to be patient.
To look forward to.
Stay consistent, be disciplined. Be disciplined. That's going to be the biggest word, right?
Yes.
Be disciplined. And it's awesome that you agreed to take this road just because it's going to help a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen it work. I've seen it. And it makes me so happy.
You know what's the best part? Even though you're helping them, you're helping yourself.
I'm learning from them, too, because I'm also learning to be very patient. Every one of them are very different.
Well, every time you teach somebody, I mean...
It's fulfilling.
It's definitely a fulfilling moment. It's something that you're going to get back.
Yeah.
You give, you get back in hundreds, right?
Yeah.
Thousands.
Well, EXP just offered me a mentorship program through EXP. How do you learn that I'm a mentor for the Luna team is because they're seeing our new agents that are coming aboard. I don't know how they have access to that.
Right.
But I got an email the other day from EXP saying, would you like to be a certified mentor for the EXP? And I was like, wait, what, me? A certified mentor? Like, hold on. No, I got to take one thing at a time here.
Slow down, Jessenia.
Yeah, slow down.
We're getting a lot of agents here.
No. So, when they offered, but when you're offered that, it genuinely means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
So I really am. I love when my new agents, we have agents that have been here for 2 weeks already have escrows.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Different. You don't see that in any other brokerage.
Right.
So
you just gotta get on it.
They need someone just to push them, and I'm a big pusher. I'm a big motivator to tell them that, hey, we don't want you to work for Uber Eats anymore. We don't want you to be sitting down at home doing nothing or having that part-time job in construction anymore. We want you to become a full-time agent.
And not just that. Like, after going through the process of getting your license, some people can say it should be more difficult or they should make it harder, right? That's why everybody can get a license. But it really comes down to your persona, the person that you are, right? And that's why a lot of people don't make it in real estate because they don't have what it takes.
Personality,
Even though the process of getting licensed might be easy for some, I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't that easy for me.
Everybody's different,
right? Being brought to the U.S. at 14 years old, not knowing no English and then 6 years later
passing in real estate exam,
getting my real estate license. It wasn't easy just because I need to learn the language, right?
And we had to pass 2 tests, you guys, not one. We had to take 2 tests, a national and a state test. You guys are lucky.
Yeah. So no, it's awesome. You know,
Yeah,
it's
this job is
it's
awesome. Not only is it awesome, not only is it rewarding, not only, yes, you make money, but you actually have fun and you learn about yourself, what type of person that you are. You learn skills that you thought you didn't have,
you
you
make a
know?
lot of friends,
You do make a lot
right?
of friends. I
All
know a lot
your
of people in the,
clients.
yes,
Yeah.
not only clients, but people in the industry. They come to
Yeah.
me and they're like, oh, Jessenia, I saw this and this. And I'm like, oh my God, who is that? They'll
Mm-hmm.
hug me. They'll be like, hey, Jessenia, how
Yeah.
are you? I'm like, oh, bien, gracias, ¿cómo estás? And then they'll walk away and my husband will be like, who was that? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No,
they
I
know
mean,
me.
you know, the thing is social media.
Yeah,
You know, a
social
lot.
media. Yeah.
Like sometimes
Presence.
I message agents or people right through social media, thinking that I know them just because I see them so much and so
Yeah.
often that I feel like I know them, but really
Yes, but
like
you
never
don't.
met them in
Yeah.
person. Like I feel like I already know you, but
But we don't,
but you know, social
Yeah.
media.
It's fake book. I call it fake book,
Fake
Facebook.
book.
Yes.
Well, it depends on how you run your life, right?
Yeah. Well, others.
Exactly. So it's very you got to be very careful who you're following. You got to be very
Yes.
careful who you're taking an advice from.
Yes.
You got to be very careful of. You know, here's the thing. This is something that I've learned and I've done for most of my life. Like check yourself before you start,
Yes.
comparing yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like-
what
like-
my mom said. No apuntes el dedo porque tienes tres que te apuntan para atrás.
Exactly. So
You
never
know?
assume, never
No,
judge. Do your
never,
thing.
No.
So with that being said, and before we end our show, this is a funny part. You had like 7 or 8 German shepherds at home.
Oh my God, 7 or 8. I wish it was only 7 or 8.
How many do you have?
I have 9 German
Oh
shepherds.
my God! And they're like big.
Yeah, they're
German
big. They're,
shepherds.
yeah, they're nice and big. And I have a Maltipoo, so she's the little girl. Yeah, we have a family. I'm a fur mom. I am a dog mom. I love my dog. I literally joke sometimes that I work for my dogs, but in reality, I do work for my dogs.
like
I
8
do.
of them, 9 of them. That's
Yes,
crazy.
9 German shepherds.
Nine-
$400 of food every 3 weeks, and then they're spoiled, so they do get like
The
the way that we do
treats.
the dieting meals, and they do their meals. We do their meals, so they get actual meats and salmon, and it gets pricey vet bills, but they're my babies.
Yeah, that's.
I will
so,
tell you
I'm-
that
I'm-
funny story that goes to it though. My son the other day, all my dogs follow me right when I'm at home.
Yeah.
So I try to make time for just like I would for my kids and my family. I make time for my dogs. So I move all the furniture out and I just have a nice open floor plan and I sit there and they all sit with me. That's what they like to do. My son walks in from the gym and he says, geez, Mom, she's like, these are a lot of Germans here that are that are around you. And I said, yeah. He's like, if you had to get rid of one, just one, if you had to get rid of one, which one would it be? Y lo miré and I looked at him, I'm like, that would be you, son.
That's funny.
And he's just like, really, Mom, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, I can't get rid of any of my dogs. I'm sorry. You're 20 years old. I think
Yeah.
I would ask you to leave.
You're ready to
I'd
go.
ask you to leave before one
Yeah.
of my dogs. So yeah, definitely a dog mom.
Yeah.
Not easy, but fun.
When you have events or parties at your house that you invite us over, like literally, I walk
Yeah.
with fear. Like I
Pero-
hope I don't get
but
attacked.
they don't do
Well,
any-
No,
yeah,
no. Once
yeah.
I get comfortable and they get
And they know you.
yeah, I'm it's
So
no
they're
big deal.
they're trained to be around people.
Yeah.
They were every single one of them have been trained with little kids, so that
Mm-hmm.
if they pull their ears, pull their tail, bite them, even push them, stomp on them, jump on them, they have the reaction to be like, "Whoa, this is a person. I don't harm people."
Yeah.
Now. Don't try to come and break into my house
Yeah.
because then a boo is a little bit different.
wild.
Then it gets wild because
Yeah.
they know the malice. But
Yeah.
they're great dogs.
With 9 German shepherds, I'm sure nobody's gonna even.
Yeah, no.
Intent.
There's people that come. The mailman comes and he's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna leave the package over here in the front of the courtyard."
Right.
And I'm like, "You'll be fine. You can come." He's like, "No, I'll just leave it right here." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
So
Yeah.
funny story. One time I was showing a property years ago, and the owner was there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put my dogs away, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So he had 2 German shepherds. So he goes in the backyard and he has a storage shed. So he puts them inside the storage shed, right? And he's like, "I'm gonna step outside. So once you're ready, let me know so I can get them out." So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool." I walked in with my client, showing the property. We go to the backyard. He has a fence pool. Thankfully, he has a fence pool. So as soon as the dogs smell me or hear me,
Yeah.
they hear me that I'm walking inside the backyard, they start opening
Opening
the
the door.
doors.
They're smart.
So they both open the door and they come running at us, myself and my client. Thankfully, it was just one guy looking at the house, which was my
Yes.
client. we start running, jump over the fence of the pool.
Yeah, they're smart. German Shepherds are very intelligent dogs.
Yeah.
3 of mine open doors at home. So you've got to lock the door because Cersei, if she's in a room that she doesn't want to be, she'll just go put her paw, her nose up or her paw down, and she knows how to open doors. They're very smart.
Here's the funny part. So to get back to the front of the house, we had to jump another fence.
To another house?
No, to the front of the house, so I can get the homeowner to let him know that his dogs got out. So we're jumping fence to fence.
It
was funny.
Yeah, can I do that in heels? No.
Oh no.
But that's another thing. If you show fear, they're going to
I'm gonna show fear.
Yeah.
Trust me. There's 2 dogs coming at me.
You're used to your Frenchies.
I'm running. I'm running.
You're used to your Frenchies.
Well, the problem is that I grew up with dogs as well, but the problem was that being a realtor and showing random houses, and some people contain their dogs, some of them don't.
Yeah.
And one time I was showing this property, they had a dog, and the homeowner was there, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about it coming in. My dog is Mancito, he's good. And as soon as I walked in, that dog came at me, tried to bite my leg. So from that point, I kind of got a little...
you're uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Yasmin was bitten in the face by a dog, and she works at a dog.
Jasmine has...
Yeah, she's a dog girl.
Yeah.
She's a dog lover, and she didn't want them to put him down. She just loves animals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the fear is still not ever there. So it's like, you either... I mean, I can understand the fear of it and being attacked and the adrenaline that's going by, but I mean, she literally was mauled in her face, and half her face was, hanging, and she works for a boarding facility, and it's like her love for dogs will never go away. That didn't deter her from that.
Yeah. That will definitely deter me from that.
Yeah, and same with my son. Right after Isaiah was in the same position. So it's like, both my kids have been bitten in the face by dogs.
Oh my
so they've both gone through that trauma and that.
Yeah.
But, it's...
They still love them.
They still love dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to stop that. So...
All right, so... This is all I have for today.
Yeah.
Jessenia, thank you for joining us. Yeah,
yes,
awesome conversation. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I know now. So kind of works out.
And we've known each other for a long time.
Right.
So that's what's funny.
I mean, life happens like this.
Yes, and the drop.
Yeah. It just goes
Blink
so fast.
Blink your eyes and there you are. You're going to have a quinceañera soon. The last one. They don't know when. It's the last one. And it's like, I remember when she was a baby.
Trust me. I mean, time just flies. Yeah.
So that's why they say take advantage of it. The one thing that's is more precious to me than anything else is time. Money is something else, but the most precious to me is time because that's, not getting it back.
Exactly. So take advantage of the now.
Yes, of the now.
Right.
And be happy and be content. And if you're not, go and find your happiness.
Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about what you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. So once again, even though Jessenia is our sales manager here within the Luna team, she's also a realtor, right? You're still helping out families with the process of buying or selling. How they can find you, Jessenia?
They can find me through my Instagram, Jessenia.m.garcia, or you can just Google your realtor Jessenia, and I come right up.
There you go.
I'm everywhere out there. Yeah.
Message you.
Yes, of course. I'm available.
DM.
Yes.
Yeah, whichever is easier, right?
Yes.
All right, everyone. So if you like this show, please make sure to share. Please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to, like our shows and more to come. So
hit that follow button, guys. Hit that follow button.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. We did it.
Yes.
See you guys soon.
See you soon.
All right.